In this video I'm gonna show you how to create a Spring Boot project using Eclipse. In the course I will be using Visual Studio Code actually to develop the project, but in this video I will show you how to create that Spring Boot project with Eclipse, and you will be able to follow along in case you wish to use Eclipse. Okay, so here I have Eclipse opened. I'm not gonna download it on video, but I will show you where and how to get it. So I'm gonna go to Google Chrome and search for Eclipse download. And Eclipse downloads Eclipse Foundation. And on this page I'm gonna go to download packages. And I would get this Windows 64-bit. Okay, and this isn't an exe file, it's not installable. You just get a zip, which I have here. This one right here is the current latest version, and you just unzip it and you can use it. So I have it unzipped on my desktop here and I am running it here. Okay, so to actually get started with Spring Boot inside of Eclipse, I'm gonna get an extension which makes creating Spring Boot apps really easy. So I'm gonna go to Help and Eclipse Marketplace, and I'm gonna search for Spring Tools 4. Okay, so here it is, and I'm gonna install that. Confirm. Accept and finish. Now it's gonna take a while down here to actually install. Okay, so it's finally been installed. I'm gonna restart Eclipse. I'm gonna close this welcome screen. And now you should notice a new thing here in this top bar, which is this boot dashboard. Okay, and I clicked it, and here it is now as well. That comes with the Spring Tools, and you will see what it does in a bit. Now with Spring Tools installed, we can finally create the project. So to create it, I'm gonna go to File and New and choose Other here, and then I'm gonna search for Spring, and I'm gonna select this Spring Starter project, click Next. So this service URL here is where it's gonna download the project from, and you have the name and group, artifact, version, package, and so on. I'm gonna leave that as it is. I'm gonna leave Maven for the type, and Java version is gonna be 12. Packaging I'm gonna leave as jar. You can choose war as well. And language is Java. And I'm gonna click Next. And here you can choose the Spring Boot version and also the dependencies. So I'm gonna choose this most stable one, latest and most stable. And I'm gonna search for dependencies. So I want the web dependency, which is this Spring Web Starter. So I'm gonna get that. And I also want DevTools. And I also want Thymeleaf, because that's the template engine I'll be using. Check that as well. And at this point you can hit finish, but you can also go next and check out here this base URL and the full URL for the Spring Boot project. Anyway, I'm gonna click finish now. Okay, so now the project is ready. As you can see here it says demo, which is the project name, and boot and dev tools. And by the way, these dev tools are used for automatic refreshes. But anyway, let me expand this. So source main Java is where Java stuff goes, and there's also this resources folder, which contains these two folders actually, and application properties. So templates are for the views, and static is used for JavaScript, CSS, and images, and application properties is used to basically set your own stuff, any properties you want to change. You can change, for example, the port of the website and much more. We're gonna get into that later on. Basically, whatever setting you want, it goes in here automatically. And finally, there's this POM XML with Maven Dependencies. So here is what we got from that GUI we had to install dependencies. Here is the Spring Boot starter timeleaf, web, dev tools, and test, which comes automatically with Spring Boot. Okay, so you can edit the POM here directly if you want to remove or add a dependency, but also you can add a dependency by going to right click and Spring down here and edit starters. Okay, so here I can see all the dependencies I have, the selected ones, and let's say I want another one, let's say Lombok for example, and I'm gonna get into Lombok later on, but let's just get it for now, just so you see how to add another dependency this way. And here it is, so I'm just gonna click it and say OK. And you can see down here is building workspace. And once it's done, if I open POM XML again, here it is, Project Lombok. So Lombok has been added as well. So that's how to add new dependencies easily in Eclipse. And finally, let's run this project. So here is that demo project with DevTools, and you don't need to install, for example, Tomcat or whatever. Just this Spring Tools is enough. It has everything server-wise and so on, so there's nothing else to install. So to start it, I'm gonna right-click here and go to Start, or here as well you can click. Allow access. And if you see the Spring here, it means it's all good. Let's see what else is here. As you can see here, for example, it says that Tomcat is started on port 8080. And now here I can right click and go to open web browser, which is this default one for now. And let me just see, it doesn't seem to be running. Let me restart it. And I'm just gonna go directly to it in Chrome. But you can set your default browser in Eclipse and then open it in Chrome that way. But I'm just gonna go to it here directly. And this is good. This means that it works because we don't have any view set for the index page, which is this default domain. We get this error, but this means that it works. So if you're seeing this, it's all good. And you have set it up properly in Eclipse. One last thing I want to mention is I mentioned that this DevTools, it allows for automatic refreshes. But to actually have that automatic refresh here, you need in Chrome and any other browser really. It has this extension, you need this live reload. Okay, so you click it to enable it, and now when you change stuff, it should automatically refresh. And that works always as long as you don't change dependencies. If you change dependencies, then you need to do a hard restart. But if you change some Vue file or Java file or whatever, it should automatically refresh. Okay guys, so this is how to do it in Eclipse. In the next few videos, I'm gonna show you how to set up Spring Boot in VS Code, because I think it's much better than Eclipse, especially for web development. So you can watch those videos next if you want to develop Spring Boot with VS Code. But if you don't, this is how to set it up in Eclipse, and you should have absolutely no problems following along with Eclipse. Okay, that's it for this video. See you in the next one.